Welcome to Feather Lane. In this game, you'll be adding cards and birds to your city to satisfy community preferences and score points. If you watch the setup video, your table should already look like this. The game is played over 3 rounds. Beginning with the player who has the start token, all players take turns choosing 2 cards and a bird from the display and adding them to their collection. When you choose a row of the display, collect both cards and the bird token from the row you choose. Set the bird token aside until the end of the round. Now let's talk about how to add your 2 cards to your city. Over the course of the game, you may create up to 3 separate streets, which together make up your city. Both cards chosen on your turn must be added to your city, but they do not need to be added to the same street. The first card played on any of your 3 streets is simply laid on the table. Additional cards are added to a street by overlapping with existing cards. You may add to either side of a street, on top or underneath the existing cards. You must overlap cards along the dotted lines printed on them, covering up at least one element of a card. You may overlap more or all of a card along the dotted lines as you add it to your street. Once a card is placed, it cannot be moved. When you choose to begin a second or third street, you may choose to start that street above or below your existing streets. In the end, players will score points for having the longest top, middle, or bottom street. After placing your cards, you'll need to refill the display. First, shift cards in the first column down to fill any gaps. Shift cards in the second column up to fill gaps. Then, draw 2 new cards from the round deck to refill the display. Add a random bird token from the bag to replace the one that was taken. Play continues clockwise until the round deck runs out of cards. Each player will take the same number of turns. Once all the cards in the round deck are gone and there are not enough cards to refill the display, the round ends. All players should have had equal turns. In a 2 to 4 player game, each player will have taken 4 turns. In a 5 to 6 player game, each player will have taken 3. When the round ends, discard the remaining cards in the display and place the remaining birds back into the bag. Pass the start token clockwise to the next player. At the end of each round, all players should place their collected birds onto houses in their city. Each bird may only be placed on an unoccupied house of the matching color. Be sure to pay attention to the community preference regarding birds to maximize your score. If you cannot place a bird or do not want to, you may exchange any number of birds collected this round for the same number of mice tokens instead. Add mice tokens to any empty house on any street. Mice won't help you accomplish your community preferences, but they will score a point each at the end. At the end of the 3rd round, after all players have placed their birds and mice, the game ends, and players tally their scores using the included score sheet. Community preferences. Count the points earned from each of the 4 community preference cards. Note that houses, trees, and birds may only be counted once per community preference card. For example, a house cannot be part of 2 different pairs of houses in order to count it twice. Bird baths. Each bird bath has a point value printed on it. Count the points of all visible bird baths in your city. Mice. Each mouse placed on a house in your city scores 1 point. Longest street. The player with the longest top street scores 5 points. The same is true for the middle and bottom streets. In the case of ties, both players score the points. Add up the scores for each player. Whoever has the highest score wins.